Yes, we can start. I think recording is there as well. Thank you, Krishna, Priya.
So, I think am I audible, sir? Right?
Yes, you are. You may proceed. Thank you.
Okay. So, good afternoon, everybody. Myself, Krishna Priya. I request technical committee to change the slide. It would be great if you can change to my slide so that I'll be seeing.
Krishna Priya, I can continue. Let him give him some time.
Okay. So, a very good afternoon, one and all present here. Myself, Krishna Priya. I am the current Women in Communication Engineering Coordinator at IEEE Communication Society Kerala chapter. And here with us we have Anjali. Anjali, can you give the introduction?
Okay, Krishna Priya. Good evening, all. I am Anjali MS, 6th semester BTech Electronics and Engineering student of UKF College of Engineering and Technology, Paripalli, Kollam. Currently serving as the chair of IEEE ComSoc Kerala, BC UKFCT.
Okay, Anjali, thank you. That was a great introduction part. Okay. So that's it. We are the moderator for this session. That is, we'll be here with you for the whole session. So, Shankar sir, Gopama sir is here.
He has just joined. Goma, sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Welcome, sir.
So hereby I welcome our Goboma sir. He is the current chairperson of IEEE Communication Society Kerala chapter. Handing to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, all. I'm extremely happy that IEEE ComSoc Kerala chapter is associated with this initiative of ComSoc SB chapter of UKF College of Engineering and Technology, Kollam. TEKKUTOKU is a platform with a series of interactive webinar sessions on topics of interest to Communication Society student members. I take this opportunity to congratulate Professor Shankar Jayaraj and his team of vibrant ComSoc SB chapter volunteers of UKF College and other IEEE SB members of the institution for organizing this event. This is a new venture, and currently we are having a large number of webinars organized by various organization units of IEEE, and this is certainly a new initiative to give more importance to the interactive session of the webinar. So I hope this webinar series will serve its purpose, and I wish all success for this event and its future editions. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. That was great. So now I would welcome Shankar sir. He is the current mentor of our student leadership team Kerala section and the chapter advisor of IEEE ComSoc UKL CETSB. So he'll be giving the welcome note. Moving to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Krishna Priya. I hope I am audible enough.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So a very good day to all. So let's extend welcome all with a quote that we extend your arms and welcome to the future, and the best is yet to come. So welcome to IEEE ComSoc Kerala chapter and IEEE ComSoc student branch chapter's new initiative, TEKKUTŌKU. So here is the change. So TEKKUTŌKU is a online platform with a series of interactive sessions with a technical domain expert, which will help students to have a smoother transition towards his professional career. So welcome to TEKKUTŌKU session 1. Prepare yourself for a career in cybersecurity. So for any program to be successful, it lies with the student volunteer team, right? So I would like to congratulate and highly appreciate all the TEKKUTŌKU volunteers from IEEE ComSoc Kerala chapter team. To mention a few names: Anandu, Ashwin, Nishant, Krishnapriya, Avani, Kiran for the designs, and especially Angel, who made sure the publicity reached different section in India Council. So next is IEEE ComSoc student branch chapter of UKFCT team. Anjali, who has been constantly in touch with me, Farhan with the registration, Arjun with the design, Amal, Anand, Asan, Alan, Anadev with the technical team, Afsal, Diana, Naufi. And a few volunteers from IEEE SB UKFCT as well. A special mention to Kailas and Pranav for their contribution at the last. We will see their session. And special mention to Akila, Ajmi, and Varsha also. And I welcome you all, dears. And next, I take this opportunity to thank IEEE ComSoc Exicom of Kerala chapter for the continuous guidance and support. A special mention to Governor Sir, Chair of IEEE ComSoc Kerala chapter, and Dr. Lilikuti Ma'am, past Chair of ComSoc Kerala chapter, for the advices. And also I thank the college management for the support in organizing such student-centric program. So I welcome all of you in this program. So next, I welcome all IEEE Kerala section Exicom members to this program, and I personally thank Dr. Professor Shabiri Pillai, who is the Vice Chair of IEEE Kerala section. We appreciate your presence here, and we highly appreciate the IEEE Kerala section for providing us the support for hosting our event in the section Zoom platform. So we are very much overwhelmed with the response of 250 plus from IEEE Kerala section, Madras section, Hyderabad section, Bangalore section, Gujarat section, and Bombay section. We welcome each and everyone who is representing each sections. And the main thing of the day is to welcome our special guests of today. So next, I welcome our special guest and our domain expert in today's TEKKUTŌKU session, cybersecurity, Mr. Nandu, who is actually, as you all know with the posters, is information security product architect, a cyber digital consultant, LPP, and he is a webmaster in IEEE Kerala section. To give a few note about him, he is actually a very vibrant volunteer who prefers to work in the sidelines of IEEE Kerala section. He doesn't require any particular fame or publicity, but he is a very good technical volunteer of IEEE Kerala section. So for past 5 or 6 years, he has been the very backbone of the IEEE job fair. So a very vibrant technical volunteer of IEEE Kerala section. We are very passionate and we are looking forward to hear from you. And finally, I would like to call the attendees who gives life for this session. So I welcome you all. So just a small suggestion is that stay assertive, shoot your questions, what you are in your mind. Don't hesitate to make this session as interactive as possible. So good luck on your venture to be an expert on cybersecurity. And now over to you, Mr. Nandu. Your floor is all yours. You can start away with your session. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Shankar, so for the kind words and giving me an opportunity. The ComSoc chapter, IEEE, UKF, and all the IEEE members and whoever our journey. So maybe, yeah, as you would know, so this platform it is slightly different. So I was communicated the same. It was slightly. I'm sorry. Am I audible? It seems like my I'm getting some messages. Am I audible? The video is clear.
Yes, you are audible. I think the video is actually getting jittery, I guess.
All right. Pardon for that. Maybe my internet connectivity is somewhat bad here. I'm sorry. Yeah, but definitely we can talk anyway. What I would like to start is the session is a bit different, like the usual webinar sessions. So that's what I'm here. So I am a technical guy. So I always talk technical things, and I'm very weak in the other part of it, which I know very well. So but this one is more into okay, so video is also breaking, and let's see if it gets better. Great is good. Okay. But the session is more into like an interaction with what I have experienced in the cybersecurity industry. So, you can ask questions on how it goes. So that is the primary objective, or that's why that's why the session is, instead of talking something very technically or about some of the future advancements that is going to happen in the cybersecurity or any kind of industry. So a bit different, but of course, yeah, your questions are open. So whatever I could answer, I can get you the answers. I can get you I can clear your queries if you require, even if it is whatever I could solve it. But the technical the session is more into my journey and how it is going the cybersecurity industry. So I'm seeing few errors here and there. I'm just checking with my panelist to see if there is any serious technical lag it is there, so that I need to fix it, or Arjun is the co-host now.
Okay, Nandu, this is Shankar. I think
Yeah.
we have your network bandwidth is slow. There is a slide.
Okay.
So anyway, I have reduced that video quality. I hope it will be soon fine. So all the participants kindly adhere to that. Anyway, thank you, and over to you, Nandu.
Maybe okay. So if it is going worse, I could I may stop my video, and so that we can get things better. Okay. So just to start anyway, webinar session. So something with I do have a PPT with me. It is not a big thing. It is just going through what it is and what is happening in the industry, not in the revelations. It is what is in the industry, what we are looking at, and what we do on a daily basis, or what are the different. Again, we're getting questions. Okay. What challenges have you faced? Okay, so I've started getting questions, and I have a few questions. So I will be answering all of this. So first, let me start with a very small presentation, not a big one, which is more into what we do in cybersecurity, so that you will have a starting point to ask or start thinking of cybersecurity as a career or anything. So I'm just sharing my screen. Let me know. Some of the panelists, let me know if you can see it or not. I'm sharing it. Is it visible to you? I'm stopping my video so that I get some more bandwidth.
Yes, it's visible. Krishna and Anjali, you can take over the moderating. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Okay. So don't read this. It is just a disclaimer. So yeah, it is always the career guidance sessions. I'm a bit scared as well on this one. So to get succeeded in your career, you have to seek opinion about different people. You have to identify what you are, where you can contribute. So instead, like whoever you're talking to, or in whichever presentation you are being to, you have to be very keen in the thing that is being discussed, and identify what is your path, and then go forward. It is just a disclaimer on that one, instead of like blindly following anyone, including me or anyone you see or any video that you see. Identify what you can do, where you can excel, and then move forward. So just a disclaimer on that one. And the other thing, so this is I'm going to discuss whatever I learned, or whatever I have seen in my industry, and I will try my best to get you the best accurate information I know. And at the end, me or my company have no intention to generate any kind of financial. Audio is not clear. Is it? if panelists, please let me know. I have to make get arrangements. It is good. So continuing, revenue or me, we don't have any intention to make any revenue from this particular activity or the session that I'm going to take. So in order to start with, just about me, I am Nandu. So I'm a computer programmer first. So I always do coding, which is my passion. I initially there was a statement like I live to code, but I removed it maybe just to make sure that maybe seems like a negative word. So that's why. So I'm a computer programmer. Now I'm a technical architect. So what I do is I design security product and solutions for enterprises. So sometimes I do the core with the thing to explain what on the if you ask what is my uh, so I'm a principal architect at research and development. So CDC LLP. CDC LLP is my company. Your audio is not clear. I'm getting this frequently. Moderators, please let me know if my audio is not at all clear. I need to make arrangements for that, please. So
Okay,
moving forward, yes, please. Okay. So let's start. So I would like to give you a very brief introduction about what we do in the cybersecurity, what the practitioners do in one of the security and another one of course the defense. So we practitioners are usually called testers. So what? Oh no, my audio is breaking. Okay.
It was breaking, but after some time it went away. So maybe.
So give me a second. Let
okay.
me make an arrangement. I'm very sorry for the long internet connection. Slow internet connection.
Okay. So you can take your time, maybe 1 or 2 minutes. So meanwhile,
yeah, let me fix that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, we will have a quick announcement to all the participants. What you can do is that after a small introduction, we have received your few questions and we have consolidated all the questions here. And first we will discuss that questions mainly 1 or 2. Then we will open the session for all the attendees. So when we are opening the session, so I request all the attendees to raise your hands. So during that time, Krishna as well as Anjali will be moderating the session. So they will call each one's name. So the technical team will give you privileges to turn on your audio as well as video so that you can have a direct interaction. If you are clear with the instruction, kindly let us know in the chat box. And if you are not, if you are reluctant to ask a particular question with the video on, you kindly let us know in the panelist chat so that the technical team can give you an access to audio where you can shoot your questions right away. So for those who are adding to the panelist, it will take 1 or 3 seconds momentarily so that you may rejoin your session as a panelist. So at that time, you may be kindly temporarily exited from the present login. So don't worry about that. So thank you for the patience here, listening to these instructions. So I hope Nandu is ready. Nandu?
Yeah, am I audible right now? Maybe a
Yes,
bit more clearer.
yes, it's much better. And over to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. I believe the screen is still shared. Maybe it is paused, but you can see this one. How is it right now?
It's great. There is no lag in the voice. Okay,
All
so
right.
after this short presentation, I think you can try with the video. Thank you.
Yeah, video on. I can turn on the video. it's fine. So if you analyst leave, if anything happens, let me please. All right. So defensive practitioners and there's a few people called defensive practitioners. So the defensive people do analyze what is happening, which is more into getting to know about an incident or to see whether somebody is attacking or not. So that is the defensive practitioners. By the way, like I said, the offensive practitioners do test or do try to attack things in the maybe very common terms to get to identify vulnerabilities or the loopholes in the system and then try to fix it or inform the respective person to fix it. So typically the offensive practitioners are the engagements are short. They will test something, and will stop testing and get those information level. But the defensive practitioners do continuously monitor the application or whatever is in our context. It can be an application or it can be a network or anything, which can, of course, help to prevent attackers getting into a system. So we call it as red and blue teams in a typical war game, but that is kind of irrelevant here. So I'm just moving to the next slide. So the key skills that companies expect from a fresher. I'm completely flipping this. Definitely somebody will ask this question, so I can answer on that level. And just starting the core thing is my journey to the how I went to the cybersecurity industry and what initially I used to be
You are breaking
Excuse,
again.
later I realized that again.
excuse me, sir. Still there is some issue with the connection, sir.
Okay, it is not clearly audible. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, guys.
Okay, okay. Now it's okay. So I request Krishna to right away point out to Nandu whether when he faces any network issue.
Oh, sure, sir. Sure.
Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Krishna.
Type it and send me. Even that is fine. I can make something.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So I was a coder, and then I became an application developer. I used to develop applications like Shankar was saying. To work and organizations and everybody by creating applications and getting things done. Then sometimes I do used to get cyber attacks and everything, usual stuff every developers face at one stage. Then I joined a cybersecurity firm and I started as an analyst, which is the part of continuous monitoring. And I was still interested in some of the penetration testing work. So I started as a part-time tester. Like I will do testing sometimes, and then I started the testing or the offensive security activity as a full-timer. I did for very small duration. I didn't do it in a very long time. Later, it was a requirement, and I have 3 skills I developed in different stages. So I started testing plus development. So I used to develop and the industry can develop and you know what is
Sir, there is a bit problem. Sir, can you hear me?
Okay.
Sir, there's a bit problem
Yeah,
in
I
your
can hear
audio.
you.
Okay. Now it's fine. Now it's
Okay,
fine.
sure. So I'm stopping the screen share because it is not that relevant from there. So the presentation is over. So we can maybe now my voice would be very clear so that we can communicate and people can ask questions or something. So, okay. So for ending that journey, then what I went from there is a full-time R&D person. So what I do now is to create tools and technologies, maybe architectures, maybe tools, maybe software scripts or anything to help the analyst, the testers to test the application or all right. So I'm just reading the question. Test the applications or create new solutions for different problems, or maybe creating some of the cases, use cases for specific cybersecurity activities for different industries or different companies or enterprise or whatever it is. So that is what I'm doing now. I'm creating architectures, techniques, softwares in the cybersecurity industry to secure their networks and do the thing. So this is my journey to cybersecurity industry, and this is currently where I am. Okay, maybe I'm stopping now. It has been a very long time because of the network connectivity and different issues. I'm very sorry for that. I'm not turning on the video so that I will get a bit more bandwidth so that we can talk. So please go forward. We can go for the questions. If you have some moderated questions, I can start answering from there, and people can ask as well. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Nandu. Next, we will move on to the small session with me. So we have received a lot of questions where most of the questions you are trying to answer it. So like we will have a small question so that it answers everyone. So as a engineering student here, so most of them are engineering students. The common questions they asked are like how to start a career in cybersecurity. What is the prerequisite, or it can be classified as jobs related with cybersecurity. So that is another question as well. So while combining these two, so how to start a job as a cyber security expert? That's a question commonly asked. With that question answered, Anjali and as well as Krishnapriya will be taking over with the live interaction session. Over to you, Nandu, for this.
Okay. Yeah, this has been a very common question that everybody asks, like where to start with cybersecurity. As an engineering student, how to start. So the thing is very simple. Learn the fundamentals. So cybersecurity, I'm not talking about the very high executives in the cybersecurity industry. They do the very different things regarding creating bigger architectures or policies. They create processes. So I'm not talking about any of those. So which you need to learn, you need to get certified, you have to get through different levels or knowledge to get there. So in order to just start in cybersecurity, okay, I'm started reading questions, so that's why I got distracted. So in order to just start with cybersecurity, you have to learn the fundamentals. So that is the very direct answer for this one. So there are different area that you can excel. So for example, maybe in a broader concept, there is application security. So where you secure application in the sense your mobile application or what you see, the Facebook or the Google or YouTube, whatever it is, those are applications. So you can secure application, or you can secure networks. Network in the sense your school network, your college network, or maybe a very close network, or maybe the internet itself. For an internet service provider, they have a network that handles all the internet. So they can protect the network as well. Network as well in the sense an unauthorized person would not connect to the network and do some stuff. So these are the two very maybe distinct items in the cybersecurity thing. These are the two things we protect mainly. So learn fundamentals. So that is the thing. If you want to excel in the network security, try to understand what is a network and what is the concept of IP address, how the systems are communicating, what is router and what is things. So first, try to understand those items and try to identify what are the things which can be used for maybe it can be used by an attacker to get in. A simple example would be you have a Wi-Fi network, you know how the Wi-Fi network works. In a very fundamental thing, you enter a password and then you get in. So if the password is not very strong, a person can enter the password and move forward. So think like that. Once you start thinking like that, asking the question why it is happening, you are good to start with cybersecurity. And people will hire you. Especially, I have seen like in a trend, if whenever we are hiring, even my company or some other company, where when we are hiring a fresher, what we look into is not the cybersecurity specific. There are tools in cybersecurity which you can use. There are firewalls where you need to get to know in order to configure it. And people don't actually look for those kind of skills. Of course, it is not like possible from a fresher. What they look into is, do you know if the person knows the fundamentals? Does he understand what is a network? Does he understand what is the thing? And then start finding loopholes in it, read articles about cybersecurity things, and gain understanding about cybersecurity, and then start. So that will be the ideal path to get into the cybersecurity. From preparing yourself, I'm talking about preparing yourself. There is another path like how to get into the cybersecurity companies, which is just like any other companies. You can identify people who is working in cybersecurity company through LinkedIn or anything, and that get into these companies. But the key things they are looking for is your capability to understand the fundamentals and how clearly you understand the fundamentals. That is the main thing a cybersecurity analyst or a cybersecurity tester would like to know in order to get into the world of cybersecurity. So that is my initial thing or initial statement on the same, but there will be like few questions that is coming in that I can answer on the go, which is the basic, brief thing about how to start in cybersecurity. Understand the things, understand the theory. So just giving you an information, or maybe you would know it already, especially in cybersecurity, I would say. The theory is as much important as the practicals. So in order, if you look into the coding there, you, of course, you need theory, but you have, if you are technically good, or if you can do the technical stuff, still you can do something. But in cybersecurity, for all the practices I know and what I have seen, it is very, very important to learn the basic. The theory, the basic about the system, how the system works. So that is also very important in cybersecurity. So try to learn it, and we can start going through each of the steps. I know you have questions about about the certifications, about the website that you are looking, where you need to look into in order to get into cybersecurity. So that we can discuss further. So the understanding the basics is the fundamental. You have to understand the basics very well in order to get any job or any opportunity in the cybersecurity, unless you won't. So I can say that.
Okay, thank you, Nandu. So just a quick instructions to students. Now the students Anjali as well as Krishna Priya will take over with the moderating session. So if you want to ask a question, kindly raise a hand in your application. You can see right away. When you raise hand, the technical team will unmute you, as well as you'll be added in the panelist, so that you can shoot your question, and you can turn your video on well as well. So we can make it as interactive as possible. So Anjali as well as Krishna Priya will call your names. So those who have typed the questions, kindly use the Q&A session, or instead of chat, so that when we call your name, you can be made you're unmuted. Thank you. Over to Anjali as well as Krishna.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this opportunity. Okay, we have got some of our questions in Q&A session. Okay, we'll start with the interactive session. This is the main session. This is the main session of our event. So now I would like to request all the attendees who have queries to raise their hand. I repeat, if you have any queries, you can kindly raise your hands The raise hand button is located at the bottom of your device. Kindly. Okay, we have one question. Sir, please note it is Dhanu Krishna MD. Dhanu Krishna, am I audible? Dhanu Krishna, you can now turn on your mic and ask the question. That would be great, okay? Dhanu Krishna, am I audible?
Dhani Krishna, you are unmuted. You can just directly shoot your question. We will wait as long as we can troubleshoot. I think, Krishna, we can move on to the other one. Let's wait.
Okay. We have another query from Atulya R. Technical team, please make her a panelist. Atulya AR, am I audible to you? Kindly turn on your mic. Sir, I think they have got some network issue.
Okay, then we can move on with the question which is at hand at the chat. You can ask the question to the our domain expert.
Sure, sir, sure. So, sir, we have one question from Aruna. She asked, if I'm an EC student, I have studied a single paper called Secure Communication, and I'm interested with the topic. How can I start a career in cybersecurity with the less knowledge?
All right. So am I audible?
Sir, can you speak once more?
Am I audible right now?
Yeah, sure, sir. You may.
Okay. All right. So, so the question is, yeah, I have studied a single paper, secure communication, and maybe I would like to interact with the person anyway. So what she have studied in the secure communication anyway. So there is nothing called like less knowledge. Anyway, you have to start at some point. When you are starting, you will be a newbie, and you will be very limited in the information. So it is gradually something you learn. So it is not a thing called less knowledge. Everybody start at the very less knowledge, so that you can start. So anyway, the secure communication, I'm not very sure about what it contains, the paper, but what I believe is you are talking more into the network security, how the communication is secure. So you can start first understanding, like I said, understanding the paper, how the communication thing works, and then started analyzing all right, sorry. Okay. Start understanding about the network and start going through the network and identify what will be the loopholes in the network, like what is the firewall and what is the thing there, and try to learn about network security. You can read it a lot. You can find out how we identify, like you say, you have a network, how to enumerate the network, and how to get this thing uh, done, and how a security, an attacker would get into the network and find out what is the vulnerability. So that is your start. You need to understand what it is, and then you can go to the specific, how to scan a network, or how to move forward, like how to scan, how to attack, what is the type of attack that is happening to the network, and how it is done. If it is like people are, I saw a few questions about DDoS, how to create DDoS attack, and you have to identify what is DDoS, and then you can try denial of the service, or what is the DDoS attack. So the question was very abstract. Maybe that I would like, maybe the person can, if you could expand your question more, I could have like get you a better answer of it. And another possibility is with the secure communication. I would expect that to be about encryption and communicating the communication in the encrypted form, which is again a very, very, very important part of cybersecurity, how to secure your communication and how to secure your messages.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, please, Aruna, please ask like very specific if you need to. I can answer on that one. But it is the fundamentals, like you said. And I have one more. I see one of the question in the chat. Do you have any resources that you recommend to learn fundamentals? I would always say to go with your engineering textbook, which is a very good source for the fundamentals or the classes. I believe even whatever we always say, like our engineering education or the syllabus is not that good for the industry. But in my experience, or in my friend's experience who has been in the industry, they were able to get a very good information or fundamentals from their colleges, or at least from the textbook from their colleges. Even if you ask me, when I started working as a full-timer, I had to read some of the textbooks or some of the concepts again to understand how this thing works and what is the internals of it and how to move forward. So the resources, the best resources to start with is your textbooks. I would always say that. But if you look into the application side of it, I'm talking about the network. So if you are looking into the application side of it, the best resource will be to be a developer first. So not a complete developer. So you need to understand what is a programming, how an application is built. Say if it is a web application, how the web application is built, which are the languages being used, which are the frameworks being used in the network, and move forward from there. So once you understand the framework of it, you will start thinking about, okay, think like that. So how can I bypass this thing, or how can I move forward this thing? Of course, there are courses which I will send you, or which I would like to give you some information maybe post this session. I will definitely make sure the organizers will get you those information. I will compile a list of items where you can look into to start doing things. But the idea is the very basic. Understand what it is and start finding the loopholes. So that is the best way to do the cybersecurity. Get hold of the cybersecurity concept and excel in the cybersecurity industry. Of course, you can do it in the company itself. Once you join a company, they will give you those information. But I'm talking about preparing yourself ahead, so that you will have an extra point when you get into these industries and get into these companies.
Okay, thank you, sir. There are queries from our attendees. They have raised their hands. I would like them to ask the questions directly with our domain expert. So I would like technical committee to make Ajmi as a panelist so that she can ask the question directly. Ajmi, can you speak? Ashmi, kindly turn on your mic so that we would know the query.
Hi, sir. I have a question. Hello, sir. Audible ano?
Yes, yes, audible. Ajmi, hi. Hi.
How to prevent cyber attacks today? നമുക്കിപ്പോ എന്താ പറയാ സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയാസ് ഇപ്പൊ തന്നെ ന്യൂസ് വരുന്നുണ്ട്, സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയാസ് ഒരുപാട് അറ്റാക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടെന്ന്. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ ഫോൺസ് ഒന്നും സെക്യൂർ അല്ല എന്നുള്ളത്. അപ്പൊ നമുക്ക് എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് ഒരു എടുക്കാൻ പറ്റിയ നമുക്ക് ഇപ്പൊ എന്തെങ്കിലും പ്രിവെൻഷൻസ് എടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുമല്ലോ നമ്മുടെ ഫോണൊക്കെ സെക്യൂർ ആക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് എന്തൊക്കെയും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നത്?
Okay, so the attacking the yeah, you are seeing a lot of newses, but of course there are very few basic things you need to start in order to secure your assets, whether it is social media or either it is also keep the thing up to date. So which is a very important thing. You have to update your operating system, your software that you use continuously, so that there won't be any kind of loopholes. So all the softwares have loopholes. So at some point, people or the attacker that we see will detect or identify those all those loopholes. We call it as vulnerabilities. So if they identify the vulnerabilities, they will try attacking, so they can attack you. So the best thing to do is always keep up to date, so that you can reduce the attack surface for an attacker to get into. So that is the very primary thing. Your operating systems, your computers, keep everything up to date and follow all the good instructions that the Facebook or the social media gives you regarding, maybe for example, the two-factor authentication. So turn on your two-factor authentications on all the applications, the sites that you use, so that even if your attacker get into your password, or if he get the password of to your account, he would be able to bypass on one more technique, that is the two-factor authentication to get into your account. So that is two main things which you can do. But other thing I would say is do not trust like unreliable sources, maybe which is even the attack that you see in the news about the social media. It is more into getting false information to you, maybe as a phishing, like false website or false applications, or they will offer something and you will click on it, and then you will get an attack, or then you will get a negative thing from it. So keep away from all those things. Whatever you do, try to keenly look into what you are doing. Do not use any application from any of the untrusted sources. Do not use any mobile applications that you download from the internet, maybe saying online gambling. Try to avoid installing application from other than the store. So in the Android in the Android app, operating system, you have a provision to install APKs from different sources. Do not do that. Always download from the Play Store. Nobody can say like from the application from the Play Store is completely secure, but it is secure. It is way more secure than you get from any other sources, like third-party application source or anything. So always follow the best practices that the companies give or the providers give. So that is the primary advice I would say. There are specific to it. I wanted to ask if you have anything that you want to know specific. Otherwise, I would like to stop at this point. Keep updated. Ensure what you're looking at, everything, and then only click on it before you do anything, especially on the internet. Do not click anything unknown. Do not download anything unknown, or do not use any application which is unknown to you. That is the primary thing. Yep.
So Ajmi, do you have any other queries?
Thank you.
Okay, Ajmi, that was
Yeah,
great.
that's the please.
Okay, now we have more attendees to ask the question. I would request Manasi Reddy to turn on his mic. So, Manas, okay, it would be great if you turn on the video chat so that it would be more interactive. Like it is our real purpose, right? Being interactive. Thank you.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, yes, you are audible.
Hi, sir. I'm Manasvi. I'm speaking from Hyderabad. So, yeah, I've just seen the cybersecurity thing coming up, and I thought I'll just register and come back here. So, yeah, my main question is, I'm a triple E student, sir. I'm from third year right now.
Okay.
So I have no basics of computer science in and at all in my academics.
Okay.
So I'm planning for my master's in cybersecurity.
Of course. Okay.
So is that a good option, and what are the problems I might be facing being from triple E and trying to do masters from a cybersecurity? Because I'm not from CS, that is one thing which is an added disadvantage. So what is that one thing that I can do to cover the gap?
Okay. There won't be any to be very specific. Don't worry about that one. I believe this is your interest to take part in this cybersecurity, which is again the CS part of it. You will have some difficulties regarding some of the architecture or maybe the older things or the history of computer science maybe, but definitely you won't face anything with any core issue on the technical side because you are interested. I see the interest in you, especially on your decision. So you will have to spend an extra time other than the CS person. You might have to learn bit more in the sense. If in the case you are talking about the network, you don't have any prior experience or prior information about the computer networks, you might have to just go through the fundamentals of network. What is an IP address? How it is communicated? What are the topologies in the network? So, but it is an easy thing. I believe it is for you. Definitely, you can start. You can
So
choose
are
that.
there any materials that I could personally refer to, which could actually help me bridge the gap and know the basics?
Yeah, internet is the good resource, Mansi. So yeah, I'm not specifically clear about this the syllabus and the parts in the cybersecurity masters. So it depends upon that how the syllabus goes. You just follow the syllabus, you will get to know the thing, and from there, when you get into the industry, you will be very you will be exposed to many of the things regarding the specific techniques that is used in the internet and the company, and then go further with it. Anyway, even if you're a CS student or if you are a triple E student, you might have to learn it again. But the fundamentals, of course, you can learn it. There is no specific resource I would suggest for the time being, but definitely when you get into each syllabus, you can refer the CS items. I would like to, especially you have to look for the computer networks, which is the communication part of it. Then you have to look into the, if you are looking into the application security, you have to go through the basics of programming and the application development, how the applications are built, how there are different architectures we use in the building computer applications maybe.
Right. Thank you so much, sir.
But I won't say like I won't say that like, you don't want to be intimidated about these things. Definitely, you will find those things once you start doing stuffs on the specific. You have to look into other things than a CS student, but definitely you can. You will get very specific items.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mansi. That was great. That was great from your session, from your part. So I would like a more of interaction by switching on the video. That would be great. So Anjali, am I audible to you?
Actually, we're not able to enable the videos. I thought of enabling it, but then it says you cannot start the video because host is open.
Okay. Sorry for the technical issue. Okay. think your query is clear, right?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much.
Any further queries?
No, please continue.
Okay, thank you so much. Actually, am I audible?
Yes, Krishna Priya. Let's move to our next participant. I think Gobika is ready to ask a question. Gobika, are you there? Gobika, am I audible to you? Gobika, please unmute your microphone.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes. You can
Sorry
continue now.
that I couldn't on the video because I am facing some network issues. Yeah, actually it was a good session. So I would like to ask that, sir, you have mentioned you have worked as a tester as well as a developer in many of the cybersecurity applications. So I would like to ask. Is it like the making the application some language specific, like if the application in Python or something, it will be more secure, or anything related to language specific in building cyber security application? Yeah, that's my question. It depends on, or it depends on the architecture, or like how you choose which technology or which language or which platform should use for making a particular application. If any type of assignments have been given like that, how to think accordingly.
The question, what I understand is what is important. So so I'm starting answering. So the thing is, Gopika, yes, there is a very small portion of the cybersecurity depends on the language that you choose to develop. But it is more into the architecture, or I would say the 95% of securing an application is about the architecture. It is not specific to the language you use. But there are few languages or the platforms which has security inbuilt for specific reasons. And with that, you will have an extra advantage of less bothering about a secure architecture because of the features in the language. But most of the time, it comes to the architecture. How data is more, what are the components there, how the authentication is built, and so that is more important than language. There are standard practices for doing everything. The architectures, there are standard architectures that you have to follow. Regarding the authentication, there are specific models that you can follow. So it is more into application. That is the direct answer for me. There is a very small portion the programming languages play, but it can be overcome with a very good architecture, of course.
Okay. So you're telling like depending upon the requirements, we will be able to, like if one is very expert in that domain, it will be like it won't be a difficult task, right? Like how to choose a particular platform, like.
Cybersecurity maybe there is something called a secure software development life cycle, maybe SSDLC. So where we consider the security as well while we are modeling the application or while we are creating the architecture, how to secure other, not just design something for making the application work. We do consider about the security aspect as well when we are architecting the application. According to that, we will choose the languages, like you are mentioning, languages, the technologies, the platforms also is very important. For example, there are different hosting platforms, maybe the serverless computing as a thing there, cloud computing is a thing there. So each services has its own features or its own goods and bads. So let us the that can provide the best security. Of course, then the requirement is already there. The software normal working part of it, or the requirement part of it. I wouldn't say any language that is less secure, but there was a time when the PHP was considered to be very less secure because it was developed way back. It was widely used, but later in the PHP development life cycles, or by introduction of PHP version 7, it got more secure in many aspects. And there were similar cases where the Node.js programming system. So Node.js is a runtime based on the JavaScript V8 runtime. So V8 system, sorry, not runtime. So in the initial designs in the Node.js had many problems regarding the communication. And fixing it. And the developers of Node.js has introduced a new programming language completely, so that it can have it more secured in that side. So the programming languages also need to be secure, but it is happening, and but with a very secure architecture, you can fix it. Okay, maybe I believe that is clear to you.
Yeah, it's clear. Yeah. And one more thing I want to ask, like, yeah, I'm a Java developer, working as a software engineer. So I was always curious of asking, like, you have worked as both a developer and a tester in this field. So how you can tell which one is more like easy, like will take less time, or which is more comfort? So like in developing an application or testing, mainly in cybersecurity, I'm asking. I only know my domain, that is Java. So I was always curious to ask, what is like easy task for testing or developing in cybersecurity?
The cybersecurity testing is, of course, more difficult in many places, because you have to think like a developer. That's how you identify the loopholes in the application. The job of a developer to make the thing work first. Maybe in the newer ages, it is the developer's duty to make the application secure. So it is there, but the tester needs to be like programmer, and what will be the possible mistakes that the programmer would have made. Say if he having created if condition, so there are multiple if conditions. He forgot to add one of these conditions. So the tester will think like that. Okay, there is this check and there is another check. He would have definitely missed the other check. And shall we attract that point? So shall we start attacking that point? So you have to think like that as a developer, as an attacker, or maybe a bit more creative. So tester would be more difficult if you ask me, and it is more fun than developing sometimes. But I personally prefer developing. I don't know. I like coding a lot, so I like developing.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. That was great, informative. Thank you.
Thanks, Gopria.
I think it was a nice question. Anything else from Gobika? Gobika, anything else?
No, ma'am. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Gobika. We got some questions in Q&A session. Let's move. We got a question from Danu Krishna. Is there any PG courses after BTech in cybersecurity? Sir, is there any PG courses after BTech in cybersecurity?
Yes, I'm not specifically sure about that one, but definitely there are postgraduate or MTech in cybersecurity where you can specify different aspects of cybersecurity, maybe a very focused. But I'm not that knowledgeable to answer that question. I'm very sorry, Krishna.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Krishna Priya, am I audible to you?
Yes. I think it would be great if the attendees could ask their questions directly with the domain expert. Since it is a interactive session, so I request all of you to kindly
I'm not hearing properly. Is it my problem?
Anjali, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Anjali?
No, now you're audible.
Okay. So, if you have any queries, it would be great if you are in.
Krishna Priya, I think you are not audible properly. Can you speak louder?
Now am I audible?
Yes, you can continue.
I was telling like it would be great if attendees could ask their questions directly. As if now we don't see any raised hands, so we could read some one or two. Since the time is so less limited, we can ask one or two questions, then we will stop. Okay? Is that okay, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I have few questions I would like to answer very specifically. Some
Yes, you may, sir. You may.
of them I follow itself. Uh, so I will start with that one. Very specific question that asked was: is it difficult for a girl to get into cybersecurity? Am I audible? I believe my connection is somewhat stable right now. Anjali, please confirm it. If something is going wrong, you can ask. So the question was very specific, specifically that very difficult for a girl to be part of a cybersecurity industry. Not, it is not. There is no very specific requirement for a girl to be part of the cybersecurity industry. I would say maybe some of them were like kind of reluctant to be in the cybersecurity, maybe in the defensive cybersecurity, maybe for very different reasons. There might be personal reasons. But other than that, there isn't any. You have to have that the same skills that you would expect. You will definitely be part of the cybersecurity industry. There is no very specific difference for girls and boys. But boys do prefer, because maybe boys do like the destructive things, or they have to be more like taking a different set of challenges. As girls, you should also take those challenges and try to be in this industry. Definitely, we are welcome. So we have different organizations which do promote ladies in cybersecurity or girls in cybersecurity. I may get you some of those contacts if you are specifically interested in, and I can ask them to connect you, or you can connect them as well. You will learn a lot of experience how they perform in cybersecurity. There is no different, very specific difference for boys and gents, as everywhere. It is the very common thing to be. We don't care about whether you are a girl or a boy. And yeah, maybe as an inspirational story, we have many very good lady cybersecurity persons. Even you can get into YouTube. I can search for like different persons. The malware unicorn is a lady. So malware unicorn is somebody I used to follow a lot when I was started my activities in the malware analysis domain. She used to give very good technical advices, not on YouTube. I believe she is more active on Twitter and the other things, but she's a very famous malware analyst. She used to work with FireEye. She works with a very different company right now. You can get inspired from them, but technically there's no, absolutely no difference for boy or girl to be in the cybersecurity industry. I believe that wasn't something that need to be answered, but there was a question regarding that, so I had to talk about it, so I just mentioned it. Maybe Anjali, shall I go through the questions, or are you going to suggest some of the questions to be answered there? Maybe. Okay, I will start with the open questions right now, or some answered questions. So one of the questions was, what are the challenges that you have faced as a person working in cybersecurity field? The main question is people used to ask, what do you do? And we won't be able to say what we do at some point. Even we say like something very angry, or even if you say the truth, they won't believe like this is what we do. And they're expecting cybersecurity to be a very different or be very challenging, or maybe only the hoodie guys works in cybersecurity. So I believe that is the only challenge I usually face as a person working in the cybersecurity industry. The rest it is the same. The way that we think is kind of a bit different than a developer. That's it. We think about the destruction, or we think about the possible ways to bypass whatever we have developed. The thought process is very different, and sometimes you will get some time to get into that thought process, but my friends or my seniors or my mentors, many of them were developers at one. They could change that to change to a security person very fast. I won't see like in any specific cybersecurity, any specific issue that's being faced by the security expert. Which platform that we have to function in the cybersecurity? I don't get the question correctly. I'm an EC student. I have a paper that we already answered. And another question. How the penetration testers? Okay, so the penetration testers, as they go through the network, they go through the network in the sense, in order to test a network or start performing something, you have to get at least one entry point or an information. Either the company that you're going to work for will give you that information, or you have to find it out. So it is just will give information, IP address or something, and we started connecting to that IP address, and you will, and I'm giving you an example, you will get an header information, and then you find out what is the header. You might be able to identify which network device that they are using, or what is the topology of it, what could be the loopholes, what could be the software that they are using. There are tools to do this thing automatically. So there are tools like Nmap, there is tool like Qualys, Nessus. Those kind of tools will help you with that information as well. But it is more into like inspecting the network and finding out the loopholes. During the content time for engineers, I don't have a compiled list right now regarding the website that we need to consider. And next question will be, before entering into basic mandatory learn programming languages. It is not mandatory to learn the programming languages completely. You should know what those programming languages are used for and how these are used for from a very higher level. Say like you have a application which is like more interactive. You should be able to identify, okay, this is written in JavaScript, or you are seeing a particular screen or a web page. You should be able to be in a place where you can guess what is in the other side and how it should have built. So you have to know the basics, like a very higher level knowledge of the thing that is about the programming languages. You don't want to be an expert, but definitely you have to know about the programming languages. If you are getting into the application security, if you are getting into the network security, you have to know about the network, what is router, what are the topologies, and those kind of things. You might not be an expert on network, but you to have a way to understand this. I am an ECE student and I'm interested in cybersecurity, ethical hacking. The question is already answered. Yeah, I would try to compile a list of website or the solutions that you can refer to get an understanding of the fundamentals. But like I said, refer your textbook first. That will be the first thing to look into. It's really, I'm sorry, it's really important to do a course such as CEH certificate in order to hired by a company. It is not. I'm very sorry. Okay. I may do more preference to these CEH or the basic certifications that you do. They will try to analyze what you know first, especially when you are a fresher. But in order to get promotions or in order to move forward in the industry, you have to get those certifications, because the certification is something that will give you the ability or knowledge to be very systematic. So in order to go higher in the career, you need to be very systematic. So the certification would help you to do that. So I'm talking about the certification, not about the courses on that side. But for a fresher, I don't see like many companies do prefer a CEH person to be. It is good, but to be very brutally, to be CEH is kind of like a very common thing right now. There is no difference for a CEH guy and non-CEH guy. Maybe some of their marketing tactics or anything. CH is something that nobody gives like a respect to as of now. How to do a DDoS attack? So there are. So somebody asked me how to do the DDoS attack. So DDoS is distributed denial of service. For doing the distributed denial of service, you have to set up a set of computers or set of endpoints that individually do the denial of service attack, maybe sending a higher number of packets or anything. So for that, there is a classic DDoS tool called Slow Loris. So you can search it. So you can install Slow service. One of the denial of service attack. There are different types and kinds of denial of service attack that you can do, but it is setting up individual computers or individual points which can start doing the attack. Whether there is a common domain or skill which you have cybersecurity and studying a specific. Yeah, your skill would be, you have to be your analytic skill is very important, and your understanding about the network is the key thing. And if you are trying to be an application penetration tester or application analyst, a prior experience to the programming world will definitely help you in the cybersecurity industry. So, do you have any information that we need to yeah, very big topic that we can discuss. Maybe that would be a separate thing as well. Next question. This is an interesting question. So what are the applications of AI and ML in cybersecurity? A lot. So the entire cybersecurity companies and products, they are investing heavily on the AI ML side to make their applications more powerful, because the modern system yes, the attack surface is like increasing. There are different kind of persons that are doing attack, and there's different types of techniques. And attackers or the malicious people have started employing artificial intelligence or the machine learning techniques to attack somebody, uh, because they can analyze patterns, they can analyze people, they do things. So is the opposite. So all the bigger companies or products are heavily investing on cybersecurity, AI and ML in cybersecurity to identify malwares. The traditional malware analysis would not work, or the your traditional antiviruses are, I'm not saying might not be, are not at all efficient to prevent the modern day malwares, because it will be very specifically made. Some of the malwares are self-changing, so they can change their behaviors according to the environment that they are in. So in order to detect those items, ML and AI is a very, very, very key thing. So there is a very, very large scope of AI and ML in cybersecurity. It is more into the analysis side for cybersecurity. What are the new companies expected from a newbie? So like I said, you have to be very analytic. You have to have so key thing that many companies do for you to be hired. Yes, that was a very common question regarding what is the very special skill, or what is the special skill that many companies look into when they are hiring the cybersecurity personnel or somebody to the cybersecurity industry. All right, so I'm out of questions. Panelists, do we have anything?
Thank you, sir. That was thank you. Anjali, you can.
Yes, okay. Thank you, sir. I think we have cleared all the queries from the participant side. We have came to the end of the session, and I feel this was a
Hello.
great.
Hello,
Yes,
Anjali.
sir.
I think
Okay.
one student is there. Sorry for interrupting you. I think it's Praneeth. Praneeth, are you there? So you can have a question. You can talk now. So if you have any question, you can directly shoot to the speaker. So this will be the last question of the day. Over to you, Praneeth Reddy. Praneeth Reddy, your mic is unmuted. You can shoot your question right away.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Praneeth, you can. We will have this last as our interactive session. So kindly shoot your question to the speaker of the today, expert.
Yeah. Sir, can we start our career in cybersecurity directly after completion of BTech, or doing masters through GATE helps us to be helps us for a good secure and helps us for a good career in cybersecurity, sir?
I was, that was not clear, Praneeth. Your voice was not clear.
Sir, I'm a BTech second year CSC student, sir. Can I start a career in cybersecurity after completion of my BTech course? Should I want to pursue my master's so that I can have a good opportunities in cybersecurity, like information security analyst, CASO?
Yeah. Okay. So the typical qualification for an information security analyst for many companies is the BTech, the graduation. You can pass the graduation with, and you can get into the cybersecurity industry. That is the primary thing. You don't have to be pursuing PG for getting into the to be an cybersecurity analyst. But there are few companies who hires very specific skills, but I would say that those companies are very limited, or who would look for the cybersecurity masters for hiring. So that is my experience in this industry.
One more question, sir. Have you completed your master's, or you directly started your career after completion of your undergraduate?
No. I completed my graduation and then I started working. So I haven't done masters yet.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, Praneeth.
Okay, thank you. We can wind the session up. So over to Anjali and Krishna for the ending note.
Anjali, am I audible?
Krishna, you are audible. You can proceed.
I think Anjali, I got some issues. Anjali, is that okay? Anjali, hello.
Krishna Priya, am I audible?
Yeah, now you can speak. Anjali, is that okay? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. We can proceed to the end of the section. I think there is a slight noise side from Krishna. I request the technical team to mute her for a moment. During
Shankar
this
sir,
time, I think we can end. I hope I am audible. And in the session, everyone is asking, I'm audible. So kindly, sorry for all the delay. Proceed. So I think we can move to the end of the session with a vote of thanks, I guess.
Okay, sir.
Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, Ashwin, you are audible. You can
Okay.
proceed with that.
Okay, good evening all. Myself Ashwini Kumar. I am the technical coordinator of IEEE Communication Society Kerala chapter. So it's my honor to be here with you all on this occasion. Let me come to my duty of thanking each and everyone present here. First and foremost, I thank Dr. Gobukuma Sir, Chair of IEEE Comstock Kerala chapter, who shares valuable guidance and suggestions for improving our activities. Now, I thank Mr. Shankar Jairaj, mentor of IEEE Comstock Student Leadership Team and advisor of Comstock SBC UKFC team. I thank Dr. Lilikuti Ma'am as a past chair of IEEE Comstock Kerala chapter. Next, I would like to thank the domain expert of today's TEKKUTOKU session, Mr. Nandu R, Information Security Product Architect, Cyber Digital Consultants LLP, and also the webmaster of IEEE Kerala section. Thank you, sir, for sharing such valuable information with us. Next, I would like to thank Krishna Priya Boban, the week coordinator of IEEE Comstock Kerala chapter, and also Anjali MS, the chair of IEEE Comstock SBC UK FCT, for moderating the session in such a wonderful way. I also take this opportunity to thank each and every volunteers who worked behind this to make our first TEKKUTOKU session a successful one. I thank all the volunteers of IEEE Comstock Kerala chapter as well as the volunteers of IEEE Comstock SBC UK CET for dedicating their effort in this. And I also thank all the participants from different sections and also for being here and supported us with this event. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ashwin. And these are the volunteers behind the successful conduction of the first session. And I hope all the participants will continue to be in touch with the follow-up sessions. And at the end of the day, it's entirely up to the domain expert to carries away the session right away. So I would like to thank this opportunity for personally Nandu. On the behalf of IEEE Kerala chapter, IEEE ComSoc Kerala chapter as well as IEEE ComSoc student branch chapter of UKCVT. Like we would like to present you a small virtual memento to our speaker as well as the domain expert of today. So I hope this is a memento. I hope you can see Mr. Nandu. This is a small token of gratitude and appreciation from our side. Your 2 hours spending with us. Thank you, Nandu.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be here. So thanks for the invite. So be part of this first session. So it seems like an inaugural session of um, the journey of the TEKKUTŌKU sessions. So I wish all the very best for all the future events and the update. So thank you so much on this one. I was very happy to be here. So other than the technical difficulties that we faced during the activity, but yeah, I'm very happy with the event and all the best. And thank you all the volunteers.
Okay, thank you volunteers and thank you Mr. Nandu. As for participants, we are winding up this session. So just a small note with ending note. So if you like this kind of sessions, you can subscribe to our WhatsApp so that you will be aware of our next event. And next event will be on artificial intelligence, how to kickstart your career in artificial intelligence. So within 2 weeks, we will have our next session as well. And thank you. Be safe, everyone, and stay healthy and be happy. Thank you. And have a nice day and good night.
Thank you. Bye.